Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be talking about the cardiovascular system, and it is a 6 p.m. show. Massive concern explodes in the U.S. More and more people are dying from heart attacks. Are you in danger? Many people in the United States die each year due to lack of knowledge from the importance of cardiovascular activity. These people die from heart attacks. Now, it is extremely important to maintain activities that help your cardiovascular system, and to maintain healthy, you must eat properly. Now, many of the activities you can do are, for example, jump roping. Another example can be taking a walk in the park daily or every once in a while with a proper routine. Now, be careful, don't push yourself too hard. You don't want to hurt yourself either. Like I said, now, the heart works in a very special way, and the heart is the most important and the strongest muscle of all. The heart is made up of a series of things inside, such as the ventricle, atrium, the right ventricle, and the right atrium. Now, you have a left and right atrium and ventricle. It also has the pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, the superior vena cava, and an aorta. Now, all these are important because they make up the heart. Now, the body works with blood inside, of course. Now, the heart pumps the blood, and it goes throughout the body, correct? And when the blood is going through your body, it has a series of oxygen and nutrients that is being given off to different parts in your body, thanks to the heart. The heart pumps blood that goes through your lungs and then comes back to the heart after it has gained oxygen, and then goes back into the body with nutrients and oxygen for all the parts of your body. Now, the way that the heart pumps blood throughout your body is through a series of blood vessels that transport blood from the heart to the lungs, back to the heart, like I said before, and then the systemic circulation, which it then comes into place by vessels carrying the blood from the heart to tissues throughout the whole body. Now, after the blood has reached out to the whole body and given off the nutrients and oxygen, it comes back to the heart where it regains oxygen after it's pumped back into the lungs. So it's kind of like a recycling system. You recycle the blood. Well, you don't really recycle it, but you reuse the blood, just that it always comes back to the heart to regain the nutrients and the oxygen that it needs to give off to the rest of the body. Now, all this blood is carried through a series of capillaries, arteries, and veins that are all throughout your body. It is extremely important that before you exercise, like I said before, some of the exercises to endure your cardiovascular is jump roping or taking a walk. It is extremely important that you warm up before you complete these activities so that you don't hurt yourself or your body. Now, it is extremely important that all the activities that you do fall into the category of aerobic, not anaerobic. Now, to fall into the category of aerobic, of course, it must have a long duration, but not too long, like I said before, so that you don't hurt yourself. And it requires the cells to gain oxygen and energy through the activity. Now, like I said, don't push yourself too hard because you might end up getting hurt. But it is important to keep in mind that you must practice and have a routine, at least daily, to maintain your cardiovascular system at a high rate instead of a low rate, at a high healthy rate, preventing things such as heart attacks. Now, while completing all these several activities and on a regular basis, you should always always take care of and monitor your heart. Now, you can do this by taking you can do this in two ways. You can take your pulse by your radial artery or by your carotid artery. Now, the way that you take your radial artery pulse is by grabbing your two fingers, your index finger and the one next to it, putting your index finger and your middle finger, and putting it just below your left wrist. And there you can listen in put your fingers there and feel how the vein pumps the blood. Now you can count the amount of beats in 60 seconds, and then that's what it is. That's what your heartbeat would be. Now, the carotid artery, what you do is you grab your two fingers, the same that you just used, from your right hand, and you put it just below your cheekbone. You can put it on your chin, and then run it out to the back and right underneath your ear. Just go a little bit lower and right under your bone right there. Just feel right there up on your neck, and then there you can just take the beat as well. Here at the studio, we interviewed 3 people from 3 different age groups. The first person about the risk of cardiovascular disease. The first person interviewed was a lady named Agnieszka Mayo, and her age was 41 years old. Question: are you aware of the importance of cardiovascular activity? Response: yes. What type of cardiovascular activity do you practice? Bike riding was the answer. What do you know about the cardiovascular system? She said that it is the one that pumps blood through our body and is the one that is the main system in our body. Do you know how to monitor your heart rate and why it's important? And yes, because it is good to maintain healthy. Do you know that cardiovascular system works? Answer was pumping blood through the body. Second person interviewed was a young lady named Jessica Lewis. Her age was 14. All the questions were the same for all 3 participants in the survey. The question was, are you aware of the importance of cardiovascular activity? Her response was yes. What type of cardiovascular activity do you practice? Running and dance. What do you know about the cardiovascular system? It has 3 major functions in it. It is the largest muscle and contains veins, arteries, and capillaries. Do you know how to monitor your heart rate and why it is important? No. Do you know the cardiovascular system works? No. How the cardiovascular system works? Excuse me. The third person was a 62-year-old woman named Pamela Prochaska. Are you aware of the importance of cardiovascular activity? Highly aware. What type of cardiovascular activities do you practice? She answered walking 15 to 18 miles a week, water aerobics 3 days a week. What do you know about the cardiovascular system? I know about the electrical system of the heart. Now, this lady had a man-made electrical beat pacer in her. The fourth question was, do you know how to monitor your heart rate and why it is important? Yes, I take my pulse and blood pressure daily. The last question was, do you know how the cardiovascular system works? Yes, I am very, very aware since I am a former nurse. Now, it seemed to me that the older the people were, the more they were aware of it. Now, it seemed that the younger ones weren't quite as aware of the importance of the cardiovascular system. Now, I see this in the older people probably know about it because they have had problems with the cardiovascular system. Now, if they were younger and they knew more about the cardiovascular system, maybe they could have prevented many things that happen to them later on. This is why it is important to catch on early about the cardiovascular system and to maintain healthy by doing daily exercises or exercises minimum of 4 times a week or 3 times a week. And also by taking your pulse daily, at least when you wake up and when you go to sleep. Many things that can cause cardiovascular disease are gender, race, family, your diet, the activities you do, and smoking. This is why it is highly important that you visit a doctor or that you yourself take some initiative to check how your cardiovascular system is doing. Now, it can run on your family because maybe generations back or maybe your grandma or your grandparents have had cardiovascular activity, have not known about the importance of cardiovascular activity, and then they suffered of some type of cardiovascular disease, and maybe it was passed on to you. Now, also gender, because maybe the female or the male are exposed to different things. Definitely the diet, because depending on what you eat, if you eat a lot of carbs and fats, then it can clog up your arteries and your blood vessels, which can cause failure in the cardiovascular system. Also the activities. if your diet is bad and if you don't complete the proper activities to maintain the cardiovascular system at a healthy pace, this can also affect your cardiovascular system and expose you to cardiovascular disease. Smoking is a big one. It can give you lung cancer, and it can give you different types of cancer all over the body, which can affect your cardiovascular system completely, especially when you get lung cancer, because then the blood can't cooperate, the lungs can't cooperate with the heart as well to get oxygen through your body with blood. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, this was the 6 p.m. show. For any more questions, tune back tomorrow at 6 p.m. and you can call back at 123-456-789. Thank you once again. Have a great day.